Why, hello YouTube. This is Balor Mage again, and I'm coming at you today with an exciting build. An exciting and different build. Today, we're using one of the new Spectres. One of the new Spectres that aren't getting used in most minion builds. The Spectre you're seeing in the background right here is called a Dark Marionette. So basically, the special move on this guy is that he reforms after being killed. So we never need to find new Spectres or risk them dying. Their job is to die. So our only job with these Spectres, their job is just to form up, run directly at an enemy, and blow up. And then immediately reform and do it again. And so this has become a minion instability slash auto bomber slash walking simulator style build with seemingly very high damage potential. This build is not in Path of Building. I don't have a guide yet. We are still working on it. This is our first day playing it. These mobs are not in Path of Building. But everything you're seeing in the background here is from just minion instability. However, I would like to show everybody what the good versions of this do. So right now, for all today's mapping and all of the leveling, I was just using some imperfect Dark Marionettes. All they do is reform after being killed, which means all the damage in the background is from my scuffed tree with no gear and no idea what I'm doing and no real plan, and just minion instability, dealing 33% of their life as fire damage. Very solid, good idea, perfectly fine. But these were all just the imperfect ones. We have the non-prefixed ones that also explode on death for 5% of their life as physical fire and lightning. We did test this in a hideout, and you can clearly see both explosions happening at once. So this will stack. So it's physical fire and lightning, 5% as each. So that's another 15% explosion. So that's almost 50% more damage if I get the good ones. Then if I get the perfect ones, the explosions scorch. So I'm going to be adding to this 50% more base damage from all of the explosions and then a scorch. I did have a look at the PWDB for all three versions of these. They have the same stats, same percent life, same life values, everything like that. They all take 1 second to resummon. There's nothing I can do about the resummoning time. So they're just going to take 1 second to resummon. That's how it's going to work. But I am going to make them do way more damage. So I'm really excited about the potential in this one. If anyone knows how to get this mob into Path of Building so that I can have any idea how much damage I'm doing, that would be great. For now, all I've got to do is guess. And right now, with the amount of investment that I currently have, this is doing about 4 to 5 times as much damage as I hoped it would do. I think I'm somewhere in the 3 mil range at mid-level 70s, just having gotten the maps without any levels and gems or any cluster jewels in or anything like that. I think it's gonna scale into like proper bossing damage, maybe even proper uber bossing damage. But without them in Path of Building, I don't really know how to set that up. So right now we're just going off feel. So I'm going to show you what they look like by just heading to my hideout and watching them explode. Here is all of my friends. I've been exploding them with Infernal Legion. I will mention one thing that I think is actually pretty important. I actually went and got a Life from Death cluster because it recovers 4% of life on minion death. Now you would think that's a bad thing. We want them to die, and we do. But without this node, all of my minions die at once, and then there are no minions for a whole second, and then they all pop back up, and then they all die at once. Because nothing technically happens all at once, this triggers when the first minion dies, seemingly ignoring everything like server ticks and whatnot, and it just heals the next three a little tiny bit, and then one more dies and it heals the next one's a little tiny bit, and then one more dies and it heals the next one a little tiny bit, and it just makes them stagger their deaths instead of all dying at once. Technically it's slightly less damage, but it makes for way better clear. And so that's them. They just constantly die, constantly respawn. I never have to worry about finding their corpses. I never have to worry about them dying. They just intentionally die all the time. I've got tons of scaling left to go in this build. I am currently not even level 80. This was done without a plan, just on the idea that I thought it might work. And so far, it's worked fantastically. You can see we've actually got 5 specters, but it flickers between 4, 5, and 3 because it only counts what's alive right now. I wouldn't worry too much about what gear I've got on. I'm very sure that the replica Siegebreaker will be part of the build. I'm also moderately confident that I'll actually be keeping the Wrathlord helmet. It's actually quite good because of the +2 number of specters. However, I've only got 5 specters right now, and I will be able to get 7. I will be able to get 1 more by getting a delve chest with +1 maximum specter, and I will be able to get 1 more by getting a level 21 specter because I've only got +4 levels on it right now. If I can make that level 25, I would get an extra specter there. So we're looking at getting 2 more specters and then just a whole bunch of better scaling. All my gear is very scuffed. These don't even work. I was just testing them. So this is not a build guide. I'm not sharing a path of building. I am showing you the idea that we're working on. I think it's fantastic. I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping it's going to be really, really, really good. It looks cool. Look out for the next day or 2 because there will be an update. And if it's good enough, as good as I think it'll be, there will be a build guide. I am loving this season. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.